Hi campers. Well, I've not posted anything for a while, so I thought I'd do a quick update on what's going on with Skeggy. Yeah, it's not been a great month, to be fair. Started off with a confirmed diagnosis of osteoarthritis, so that's not great. Then it ended up with me being permanently signed off work because of the osteoarthritis, which has led to me basically being registered as disabled. Then I went for an eye test and they tell me I'm getting a cataract in my left eye, which is wonderful. Went for a hearing test and now I've got bionic ears because I was going deaf. Went to the dentist, and where I thought I'd lost these from an old rugby injury where I took a stud to the face, I've actually got a degenerative bone disease in my lower jaw which may require surgery. Oh, and plus I had a surgery about 4 weeks ago for something else, which is knocked me for six a little bit. So it's been an interesting month. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to harp on about my my disabilities and show you the contents of my drug cabinet and all that sort of thing. I tend to just crack on with things, but it's not great for your mental health, I must admit. Not great for it at all. And then on Friday, the missus got rushed into hospital with diabetic ketoid acidosis, I think it's called, something like that. Anyway, it's to do with ketones in the blood and the effects on diabetes, and it basically means that her body was digesting herself, primarily her liver. So that was touch and go for a few days. She could quite easily have died from it actually, but fortunately we got her into hospital just in time. I'd like to thank Paul Smith for his continued support. So all of that going on is why I've been a little bit quiet, and why I've not been doing very much really. I mean, I have been doing a couple of bits and pieces and I have taken some footage, but it's so out of date and old now, it's not worth putting up. So there was the trip to Vince's, there was the Walker Koi event, there was the Koi Water Barn event, Dave Eden Koi's event there, and yeah, that was some tragic news about Keith this morning at Koi Water Barn. That was a bit of a shocker. Yeah, so it's all been a bit up and down and a bit crazy. And I'm not actually sure I'm going to continue doing YouTube, to be fair, because it was a bit of fun to start off with, but now the more I look about, there's lots of people buying for attention, climbing on the backs of other people to try and get attention. There's lots of people who think they're something special, and in the grander scheme of things they know nothing. There are lots of people who will argue black is white when science says otherwise. I don't know, I just don't think it's for me. I'm too opinionated, I'm too strong-willed, and if something's wrong, it's wrong in my eyes. I very rarely argue a point unless I can back it up and I know I'm right. But there are just too many people out there giving out really bad information and then trying to put down people who are giving out the right information. which to me is incredibly dangerous. There's also still these things going on of people ganging up on people. And much as people think we have a problem, I'm actually going to name a name. It's not often I name names. I'm actually going to name a name. I'm going to say Jack the Balding Reefer. And much as people think we have a problem, we've spent many phone calls discussing things. I've helped him in the background with his auctions. I've talked him through some things that weren't going according to plan and told him how to fix them. Much as people think we have a problem, we really haven't. Until the other week, when I nipped up to the koi farm. My missus was visiting someone in Stoke, so I went up to see Jack at the koi farm. I've been saying I'm going to go up and see him for ages and ages and ages and ages. And then the next day, I get a phone call off Jack, and he says, "Why did you come to the koi farm?" I said, "Because we've been saying for months I'm going to pop up to the koi farm, and I was in Stoke, and it seemed like a perfect opportunity." Now, someone somewhere had got back to Jack that someone has recently been to the koi farm and said there are thousands of dead fish everywhere. And I just nearly fell off the chair laughing, because whoever said that obviously hasn't got the first idea how much space thousands of dead fish would take up. You'd fill one of Jack's bastions with dead fish. So whoever said that is off their nut for a start, because where would you put thousands of dead fish? Secondly, not my style. Unless it's actually there and documented, no. I was asked by Jack not to film when I was up there because there were things he didn't want filming that were going on that would support his other videos, I suppose, and I respected that and didn't film. But to have someone shit stirring like that, my name wasn't mentioned, but to have someone shit stirring like that is beyond. There's still the little issue of who told somebody something else, which they're still denying. They're still saying they haven't done it. And the sad thing is I've actually seen screenshots of the messages, so I know exactly who it was. And I'm not going to name them, but all I'm going to say is I know exactly who went and discussed what was being said in a private WhatsApp group and blew a situation out of all proportion. And I've actually seen the messages. And that person still maintains they've done nothing, even though I've physically seen the evidence. So that's why I don't talk to you anymore. That's why I won't acknowledge you, because I don't like someone who inflames something to what it isn't and twists things. It's like I've had words twisted tonight. If you're going to say something, don't twist it. Don't make something out of something that isn't. I'll be the first one to say, yeah, I said that, not a problem. But if you twist it into something that it isn't, trying to say that because someone's made a comment, whoever it may be, if they've made a comment, they've made a comment. That's not necessarily something that they are gunning for that person and trying to make an issue. It's called a conversation. Ever heard of one of those? And yes, I will shake my head at shit. And I will discuss with people, friends, in private, why that's bullshit. Why it won't work. What the fuck is going on now? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? Yeah, it's called a conversation. And that doesn't mean you're actually dissing someone, as I used to say back in the 80s. It's just that you're shaking your head going, what the fuck? So, I kind of don't think this is a place for me. I really don't. There's a lot of two-facedness. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of bitching and backbiting. And that's not my style. I'm straight down the line as they come. If you piss me off, I'll tell you. I'll have it out with you. And then it's done. Then it's done, dusted, forgotten about. Yeah, you can either continue it or you can leave it. Whichever. Yeah, but once I've said my bit, as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of it. We either carry on or we part ways. I don't mind either way. But I'm not one of these people that is a yes man. I'm not a yes man. I don't do it for the views or the likes or the follows or for anything else. The reason I did YouTube was for my little boy. Simple as that. There's enough content out there now that I don't really have to carry on. I will carry on with the Skeggy MIA pond supplies because it's a job I can do where I can't do my old job. So what was a hobby to supplement the fish is now going to become more of a serious business. So if anyone would like to support me in that endeavour, I'd be extremely grateful. But as some people have heard tonight, I don't take snipey comments off anyone, however big you think you are, however YouTube famous you think you are, however much the oracle of all koi knowledge you think you are. I will not be spoken down to and disrespected, because if you do that, I'll come straight back at you, and if you poke the bear, you'll find out how hard the bear can bite back. So I'm going to do some pondering over the next week or two as to whether I continue doing a YouTube channel. I'll still go and watch the lives and do what I do, but I'm not entirely sure that that I want to get involved in the ins and the outs of YouTube anymore, but that's to be decided. Anyway, I thought I'd just give you a quick update on what's been going on for the last month or so, and why I've probably been a bit quiet and whatnot. But yeah, tonight has kind of made my mind up. I'll leave YouTube to the people who don't know what they're talking about. Well, I say the people that don't know what they're talking about. There are a lot of good people on YouTube. There are one or two that just spoil it for the rest. Catch you later, guys. Oh, I digressed. I've just gone back and checked that footage, and what I wanted to say I didn't actually get to because I went off on a tangent. I was going to say about jack and pylons and all this sort of thing. So, as everybody knows, Jack has his koi farm. Fair play to him. Has he made mistakes? Yes. Have there been a few issues along the way? Yes. Is everybody in life perfect? No. Do we all make mistakes? Yes. Now, you can have whatever opinion you want about Jack. Yeah. But I saw a load of comments on a video today. And much as some of what's going on I agree with, and some of what is going on I disagree with, some of the comments that were left on this video were vile. Absolutely vile. And I know there's been a lot of issues with Jack, and he's a bit of a Marmite character to some people, and you know, yeah, I've criticised what he's doing. I'll be the first to say it. I said, what the fuck is he doing now? But the pile-on that is going on of absolutely vile comments. It's fine to not like the guy. It's fine to not like what he's doing. It's fine to not like the mistakes he's made. But to be absolutely vile to the man, in my opinion, is wrong. Now, I don't care if I like the guy or not. I don't care if I've fallen out with the guy or not. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't fallen out with Jack, by the way. Just want to put that out there. But the comments that have been made, even if I had fallen out with Jack, I'd be looking at some of those comments thinking, where the hell do you get off? They weren't just critical, they were downright nasty. And yes, people make mistakes in business. Oh, I've made mistakes in business. But you don't literally rip someone apart because of it. You just don't do it. And yeah, if I'd paid for stuff and hadn't received it, as some people are saying, if I'd paid for fish and it hadn't gone to plan, I'd be pretty upset about it. And as we all know, Skeggy isn't one for biting his tongue. But I wouldn't put comments like that. I wouldn't be that vile to someone. I'd say, well, you did me wrong. No sympathy. I'd leave you a 1-star review on Trustpilot. But to be actually vile to someone, it shows a lack of character. And it shows a lack of intelligence as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, I digressed. I went off on a tangent onto something else. But that's all I wanted to say. Just that one instance. I think that looking at the pylon, it's not even the pylon, it's the way people are being, it's how maliciously nasty and vile people are being. Have a pylon. Say, wouldn't touch you with a barge pole. Wouldn't buy a fish off you again. From what I've seen, I'll never buy a fish off you. That's fine. That's fine. But to be actually personally vile to the guy is wrong. At the end of the day, he's a human being. He has feelings. He has a family. He has kids. Now, I don't care whether you think he's ethical or not, to actually be that vile. The only word I can think of is vile. Absolute vile. The bile that people are spewing out. If he's done you wrong, he's done you wrong. Fair enough. Say he's done you wrong. But some of the stuff that's being said, come on, guys. Come on. You just make yourselves look bad at the end of the day. And believe me, there's a lot of people out there that I think are pretty shady characters. But I wouldn't say anything like that about them. I'd say I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, but I wouldn't be personally vile about them. That's just wrong. So anyway, that's just my little addition because I digressed off onto another topic, as I do when I'm just waffling. And yeah. So I'm going to go and ponder some more as to what I'm going to do. Oh, in other news, I'm thinking of rebuilding. Well, I'm pretty much decided I'm rebuilding the bond. So I might do a little bit on that, but that's will only be for my own reference, so I can remember what I've done and where it goes. So there you go, guys. All I'm going to say is think about what you're saying to people. You know, I'll shrug most things off, but if you come at me, I won't hold back. I'll come back at you. Simple as that. And I don't care who's listening. I don't care what opinion people have of me for me. If you are being a condescending little prick to me, I will shoot you with both barrels. Simple as. Skeggy out.